Genesis now open. Okay, well, congrats to you for opening up a brand new dealership, but can I make a suggestion? You may want to get yourself a landscaper. Is this really the new Genesis dealer here in Norwalk? Welcome to another episode of Out of Spec Dave, where today I'm on a mission because I heard that the town of Norwalk, Connecticut now has a dedicated Genesis dealership, something that I'm really excited to see. Now, Genesis has been putting a lot of money into detaching themselves from the Hyundai brand. I mean, they've got Genesis House down in New York City. They've got a dedicated Genesis dealership up in Milford, Connecticut. It's all brand new bricks and mortar. And in addition to that, they have some hybrid dealerships, like the one here in Stamford and the one in Fairfield, where actually Kathy bought her Genesis GV60 a little while ago. So I want to start up in Fairfield today and see if maybe Belize is the one that is opening the new dealership in Norwalk, because I'm not really sure where it is in Norwalk. I'm going to check it up. I mean, I can Google it and go there, but I'm going to start in Fairfield. I'm going to see if they have actually moved all of their Genesis down here to Norwalk or not. So let's get into this and go on a little bit of a mystery hunt and see what's happening with Genesis here in Fairfield County, Connecticut. So anyway, I read in the paper, I guess it was last month, that Genesis opened a brand new standalone dealership in Norwalk, Connecticut. And I'm thinking to myself, I gotta go check that place out. It must be that Belize here in Fairfield has decided to bifurcate the Hyundai brand from the Genesis brand and no longer sell both out of this dealership. As you can see, they've got a ton of cars here. So anyway, I'm gonna take a drive over to Norwalk and see what I think is their new dealership. I may be wrong, but let's go check it out. All right, so as I'm heading over to Norwalk, the dealership location, I just want to say a couple words. I'm super excited. Now, what's weird is I live over in the Darien, Norwalk area, and I guess I hadn't seen that Genesis had opened a dedicated dealership yet. So I'm excited to see where it is. I didn't see any new construction going up, but then again, maybe I'm missing something. And you know what I like about Genesis is they've made a commitment to building brand new from the ground up locations. And when you go to Genesis House in New York City, which I've been to many times, it's really a way for them to showcase the products that they have in a way, and no disrespect to Belize, it's a beautiful dealership, but it's a Hyundai buyer with a Genesis buyer. And a Genesis buyer is cross-shopping Mercedes, BMW, Audi, Lucid, right? You know, so I guess what I'm trying to say is they want to break away from the model that Belize has here, which is the combination dealerships. So I'm excited to see the quality of this dealership that's gone up. And I'm also a little confused because I guess Belize is still selling cars, Genesis, out of here. So what is this just down the road if there's a new Genesis dealer? So is there a new kid in town? I don't know. All right, well, there it is. Oh, no. Genesis, you didn't. You took over the old Subaru dealership? Oh, man. I got to investigate this. I'm actually a little shocked. I thought they were doing brand new bricks and mortar everywhere, Genesis. There's weeds growing all over the place. What is this? Oh, man. What in the heck is going on here? All right, well, listen, I'm going to get out and walk around here. I mean, this is the new Genesis dealership. It says Genesis now open, and they got a bunch of cars all around here in the lot. And yeah, but I remember this as, I've bought cars here in the past. This was forget the name of it, but it was a Subaru dealership for years. And they just left and built a brand new Subaru dealership that's gorgeous. I mean, Genesis, what? Look at this. Genesis now open. Genesis now open. Okay, well, congrats to you for opening up a brand new dealership, but can I make a suggestion? You may want to get yourself a landscaper. Is this really the new Genesis dealer here in Norwalk? I don't know. I mean, when I think about Genesis and I think about the brand, and I'm a Mercedes buyer, and I'm coming over here, and I'm looking at, I mean, look at this row of GV60s right here on the grass. There's a ton of them here. Pick your color. Which one do you want? And I mean, I don't understand. I gotta go do some research. Something's off here. All right, well, I figured it out. I found out what's going on here. There's actually a new kid in town, and it's Keeler Automotive that actually has got some big bucks. As a matter of fact, years ago, my dad bought a Honda from Keeler up in Albany, New York. And Keeler also owns BMW of Ridgefield, which is an absolutely gorgeous dealership. And so, but here's the deal. They are the new kid in town, and they have taken over the Subaru dealership temporarily as they're building a brand new bricks and mortar Genesis dealer somewhere here in Norwalk. I don't know where it is. I can't wait to see that. But that's way more in line with like the dealership you see in Milford, right? So this is the fourth Genesis dealership now officially in the state of Connecticut. We've got Stamford, which is it's kind of like a cross between Hyundai. It is a cross between Hyundai. They carry both brands, Hyundai and Genesis. Nowhere near as nice a dealership as Belize, but the one in Stamford is like, I don't know, you know, it's such like B minus C plus. The one in Milford, the Genesis dealer in Milford is a dedicated brand new dealership, and it's beautiful. And I kind of lost, oh man, I sort of skipped a few heartbeats saying that this was, the old Subaru dealership was the new Genesis dealership. But you know what? Hats off to you guys at Keeler for coming into the market. They're closed on Sundays. Today's Sunday, so I'm not going to be able to see this, but let's see if we can see inside there. I mean, yeah, that looks pretty nice inside. I just read in the Connecticut Journal back in May, there was an article. I guess I missed it. I heard through the grapevine that you guys had a dealership here, and I just assumed it would be a from the ground up bricks and mortar dealership. I didn't realize that, look, those things take time, right? And building a brand new dealership and staying with the spirit of what Genesis is trying to do, which is, you know, compete at that top level. When I saw this, forgive me, guys, that I was like, wait a minute, this seems a little inconsistent. But you know what I like about this is the fact that Keeler is saying, you know what, we're not going to wait. Now, when you think about it, they decided to take over this Subaru dealership, which can't be cheap. They're in the process of building a brand new dedicated Genesis building somewhere here in Norwalk. And so that is definitely not cheap. So their commitment to the brand and their commitment to our area here is commendable. Now, the one thing I would question at a more of a macro level is, does the area, Fairfield County, and I'll throw Milford into that as well, because if you live up in Fairfield, or you're going to cross shop Belize to, I don't know, does Belize own? They don't own Milford Genesis. So you're going to go and you're going to try and get your best deal at Milford or Fairfield or Norwalk or Stamford. That's a lot of Genesis dealers in quite a small area. But I guess one of the things is that Genesis is all about is service, right? And so, you know, people are going to buy their cars where they live. They're going to buy them, they're going to have them serviced where they live, and maybe that makes a lot more sense why. It seems like they're going to a very dense number of Genesis dealers here in a very small radius of geographical territory, that being Fairfield County, and I'll throw Milford in there as well. I didn't even look to see what's going on down in Westchester County, but I would imagine there's expansion down there towards White Plains or, you know, over by Tarrytown or what have you. So, all right, well, listen, I'm happy to see you guys. Welcome to our town, Genesis, Keeler. It's good to have you. I've bought cars from you in the past up at Ridgefield many years ago. You got a beautiful dealership up there. I cannot wait to see what you have in store for us here in Norwalk, Connecticut with your dedicated building. So welcome to Norwalk, Keeler. Anyway, hats off to you guys. Thanks again for watching another episode of Out of Spec Dave. Genesis continues their push to establish themselves as a premier brand, and I believe they're doing it. So good stuff, Genesis.